record button. On demand viewing we'll get. All right. Steve's with me today. Mike and Eric couldn't be on due to a prior commitment. So Steve and I will kind of be riding the ship here. So if you got questions, throw them in the chat. We'll kind of answer them as we go along. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions. We'll start with questions that are kind of related to the mechanics topic. And then we'll hit any other questions that you guys have throughout the year that have come up or stuff you want to do. Share this. Just remember today, whether you're 2-man or 3-man, these mechanics are going to apply to all of us. Some of the positioning stuff we'll talk about will be specific to 2-man and or 3-man, and we'll cover both of those. But you know, we do have a lot of varsity officials that'll work JV games and have to do 2-man mechanics too. So if you need to come back and reference this Zoom, we'll have this Zoom on demand, and I'll share that YouTube link out later today. And let's just kind of get rolling right into it. All right, so first thing, probably Steve can probably chime in on this. The 2 mechanics we probably get wrong 50% of the time, that I think based on what we've seen so far this year, we don't even get to this step. When you blow your whistle, there's only 2 things you can do. You either got to stop the clock with an open hand, or you're gonna have to stop the clock because you got a foul. All right. So when the whistle blows, there's only 2 things that you can do, and this is where it all starts, right? We kind of talk about painting that picture of what we're going to basically say with our mouth. We also have to say with our hands, and luckily the State High School League with our Mechanics Illustrated makes it real easy. There's only these are the things. This is the Bible. This is what we do, and this is what we go by, and that allows us to be good officials all around. So once we get to this step, you're either going to do a couple things right after. If it's an out of bounds play, we're going to go direction, and then with the team color, right? So whether it's blue or white, only the color of the team who's going to get awarded the throw-in, right? We don't have to get too crazy of off blue, white ball. Well, now it's, you know, you're just kind of making it confusing for others. Just go color of the team that you're going to award the inbound to, and then the spot of the throw-in, right? If we've got a violation after you properly stop the clock, you're going to go whatever the violation is. You know, these are some of the violations from Mechanics Illustrated, whether that's traveling, over and back, palming, 5-second violation, 10-second violation, shot clock violation now, right? If it's a foul after you stop the clock with your fist raised, all right, you're going to go whatever type of foul it is, okay? Whatever type of foul it is, that's what we'll do. Now more than ever, we've got more mechanics that you can use in terms of what the foul is, whether that's a hit to the arm, whether that's a block with hands on the hips, all right, holding, hand check, push. We've even got the hit to the head. My personal favorite, the dislodge with the knee and the post, because no one can argue if you say the knee, if you're dislodging with the knee, it's pretty hard to argue that one, right? The arm bar, the hook wrap. So we got all these ones you can use. And that should come directly after you put your fist in the air, right at the spot of where it happens. And then let's talk a little bit about reporting fouls. So a couple things we've observed, both at the 2-man and 3-man level. All right, go through your sequence at the spot of the foul. So what we call spot mechanics, right? Foul in the air, boom, red, 32 hit, 2 shots. Or it could be foul, you know, red, push, and then we're going to inbound, so you're going to point to the spot of the throw-in. Whatever that is. Let everyone in the gym know what's going to happen. Let your partner know what's going to happen. Don't leave your partners wondering on a close 50-50 play, are we inbounding it or are we going up for 2 shots? And if you're like Steve, they got 2 shots before warm-ups even started, probably, with their continuous motion. So be aware of what continuous motion is. After that, we got to jog to the table. We see a lot of walking. And that's what, you know, when it comes down to section assignments and some big game assignments, right, we kind of get who are officials who are doing our mechanics correctly, who are showing that they need a hustle. We're not saying you need to do a 40-yard sprint and get there in 2.2 seconds, but you got to jog jog around the players, not through the players, right? Mechanic Illustrated, we're showing you we're jogging around the players. Okay. We're going to get to the reporting area, which the reporting area isn't this little tiny box that you have to magically get in, right? Look how big this reporting area is. And notice it's not right next to the scores table. It's not right in front of the home bench. It's not even close to the coaches. Get out here, get away from the coaches, and then you get to do your whole spiel all over again. Whatever you did on the spot, you do it right back to the table. All right.
Hey, Austin, if you're showing something, we're not seeing it. Screen's not shared.
There we go. I had the wrong window chosen. There we go. All right. I'm gonna walk back through these real quick then, just real quick so everyone sees. So these were obviously, especially for two-man mechanics, we're seeing this more in two-man. These are the only two options you have after blowing your whistle. All right, stop the clock for foul or stop the clock and open. You can check out in the Mechanics Illustrated the directional signal and all that good stuff. All right, and then where we're gonna point to that for that free throw. And then all the violations that'll happen. And then our mechanics for proper foul calls. All right, what kind of foul we're working with here. All right, thanks, Tony. Now back to reporting fouls. So we've got this reporting area right here, super big. So we can get here, we can get here. We got players here, we can get here. But like I said, reminder, it's not in front of the bench. It's not 2 steps in front of the scores table. Take your step back, give yourself some space to work with. All right. And then whatever you did at the spot, we're doing right back to the table, right? Blue, 22, hit, 2 shots. All right. See if I can do this. There we go. One thing to remind yourselves, 2-hand reporting. So your 10s are going to be on the right hand, and it's probably backwards on the computer, but 10s are always on your right hand, and then single digits are on your left hand. So if you just have 2, blue 2 with your left hand reporting the foul. If you've got 12, 12, all right, 12. I kind of call this, we've got the foul reporting area, and then we kind of have what I call the reporting box. It's kind of what my screen is right now, basically from my chest up, right? This kind of imaginary box is where we want to signal our numbers. So almost shoulder width out away from our body, basically, so that people can see. We got a lot of guys that when they're reporting, they kind of got it down here. It's like they're showing like alien arms down by their stomach, or they're kind of flashing. They do the flashing signal, right? You kind of flash your numbers. They go blue 22. There's almost like a football call, right? So when you get to the table, stop, pause, get your numbers up high, hold them there, blue 22, make eye contact with the scores table, make sure that the official scorer makes eye contact with you, because that means they're listening. And then, you're going to do your hit, you can do a push, whatever your foul is, and then fouls, shots, if we're going to shoot free throws, are out to the side. High school league, we do them out to the side. That way, scorekeepers don't get them confused with whoever the foul is on. Trust me, we've had a couple scorekeepers who they either think they know what's coming and they write down something wrong, or they look up late. And so we don't want to confuse what number we're reporting with how many free throws we're actually going to shoot. One other tip when you're doing numbers, like we said, you're going to say the whole number that's on the jersey. So blue 14, we're not going to say blue 1-4. 1 and 4 are 2 different numbers. 14 is one number. All right. So we'll say blue 14, not blue 1-4. Right. Those are one another, those little things that mechanically can set you above the bar. Steve, so far, anything I'm missing or anything you want to chime in on?
Nope, you're doing well.
Very good. All right. Any questions on foul reporting? We'll have some video plays a little bit later as well to go over that. So any questions? I don't see anything in the chat, which is good.
I'd just like to bring up that if you're calling a foul as the trail or the center, and it's in or near the rim in the paint, you need to close down to that area first and then go through your spot mechanics. everybody on this call does an excellent job on their table reporting, but we need to improve our spot mechanics. It'll A, help you slow you down, B, communicate with all the players, and most importantly, your partners. And you'll look so damn good when you do it. So.
All right, positioning on free throws. We'll start with two-person. This is probably the biggest thing I've seen I saw early in the year this year with two-person. Here, Brett, we'll answer your question. What's the correct mechanic for an illegal screen? I've seen folks call it with a closed fist team control, and some call it with a block mechanic. So the correct, because it's an illegal screen, it is a team control foul. You almost can do both here. I want to make sure I can see my screen with the recording. I don't have everyone's video up. So, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong here. Here's how I do it, because it is a blocking foul. I'll go boop, team control foul. That way we know right away it's the foul is on the offense. And then if you want to add in, you can say illegal screen, white ball, right there. Steve,
Yep, that'd be correct. The big thing is to make sure you use your voice on all your calls, and that'll take care of it.
Yeah. Brent, the one thing I would suggest is I would go with team control first. That way we know the foul is on the offense. If you go here and here, people might think it's a block if you're not using your voice well. Or say it's a loud gym and you are using your voice, the coach across the way, if the benches are on the other side, might not know. So I would go here, whoop, team control foul, illegal screen, blue ball, inbound right there. And then I do the same repertoire when I go to the table. Blue, 32, team control foul, illegal screen, blue ball. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Glad we answered that question. All right. All right. Let's go to positioning on two-person mechanics. Who's all on? So I don't know if we have a lot of lower level officials, but for the recording, one thing we saw early on is two-person mechanics on free throws weren't being administered correctly. So in Minnesota, on our Mechanics Illustrated, the official goes opposite the table after they report when we're shooting free throws. So you'll go to the reporting area, then you'll go opposite the free throw. You still got responsibility of lane line players. So you can't be back at half court. You still got to be on the three-point arc like we are in three-man. All right? And then we'll close down when a shot goes up. So this picture, our official is properly positioned for free throws in two-man. Opposite the table, on the arc, a foot off the arc, gives himself an angle. Our lead official is 4x4, right? 4 feet down, 4 feet off. We're not on the block. The second pick, our official is too far back. Still got a wide angle, but he should be up a little bit closer like he was in this pick. Positioning for mechanics on three-person. So one thing we're seeing in our observations here early on is that the trail official during the first free throw is standing here over by the coach. Mechanics Illustrated says we need to be at half court for that first shot. If the coach asks you about something, just tell him, hey, let me administer this first free throw and I'll be over there on the second. 90% of the time, it either gives them a chance to calm down or they just forget what they're going to ask because they got to go coach. So buys you some time to either A, process the play again in your head and think about what could my proper response be. B, it gives the coach a chance to kind of bring their levels back down if they're really up there. So this crew did a good job. Our C is right on the three-point arc, ready to administer. Lead is just about to bounce the ball after signaling how many free throws. And our trail is over here at half court. Second free throw, trail obviously is going to come back to that 28-foot mark. So make sure you get there. All right. Any questions on any of that? Perfect. And we've got a small group, so if you want, you can also turn on your mic and ask a question if you need to. We got a decent group in here. So 3-point coverage, two-person mechanics. One thing we can get better on, I think, for two-person from the games I observed. Remember, the lead has any 3-point attempt from the free throw line extended down to the end line on their side of the court. Trail will have everything else. So the lead's got to take that free throw line extended down. All right. The trail might have 8 players over here to officiate as well. only the covering official will signal the 3-point attempt. And 3-point attempt in high school, 3 fingers. Whether you go like this, whether you go like this, whatever is comfortable. You want to do the international, if you want to, I don't know if I do this, but sure, whatever gets you 3 fingers. Not this, not this. This one, we're seeing this one a lot from people just signaling like this. Out to the side, 45-degree angle. If you're really good, you'll use the hand that's closest to half court. All right. If that's too much thinking right away, well, eventually you'll get there, I promise. All right. Just like this. And then in 2-person, found this out today. I was telling a few people wrong. If you're the lead and you signal 3, you could show the success thing. You could give it a success. Trail will mirror the success. All right. If it's just the trail marking the 3, the lead does nothing. All right. So if lead has the 3-point shot, mark it, give it a good. If the lead has the 3-point shot, only the trail will only mark it good. Won't signal the 3. That's the trail official marking it. Trail official marks and gives the good. The lead does nothing. All right. If you got any questions on that, just let us know.
Austin, this is Vince. Did that change recently with the lead giving the full indication if it's in their range?
It's always been in the manual. I think we've always just said, because of 3-person, if the lead helps out with a 3-point attempt, they don't signal a good 3 if it goes in. So that's just something I think probably miscommunicated over the years.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So couple still frame examples, right? Below the free throw line, lead properly signals 3. That's his coverage area. One, I did some really good artwork. Our lead is over here, but the shot comes from here. This should be the trail's 3-point attempt. Where the trail's at, I'm going to hope he's behind the scoreboard, but we'd like him to be a little bit further down here. All right. Lead doesn't need to be signaling this 3-point attempt, because the lead's 3-point coverage area is this area right here that I so beautifully shaded in yellow. All right. The lead needs to get in on this rebounding action should there be a miss. One more here. Free throw line extended below. This is the lead's 3-point attempt. Okay. 3-person coverage, a little more simple, right? 3-person coverage, our 3-point coverage is the same as our normal primary coverage area, right? So the trail has basically 60% of the floor. Gonna have everything here until this lane line extended. All right. C, you have everything from that lane line extended down. One thing, Bruce, that we pregame is if it's on this, kind of on this border, default it to the trail. All right. And you guys can pregame that. Only one mechanic says only one person goes up. And then if it's successful, trail mirrors the lead mirrors the trail. Lost me.
I might also add
Go ahead, Steve.
on that if you don't know whether it's a 2 or a 3, signal a 2. We can always upgrade it to a 3. Where it gets bad is if we signal a 3 and we got to take it back to a 2. That means we were guessing. We want to avoid that situation if at all possible.
Yep. Perfect. All right. There we go. HDMI cable's back. All right. Good stuff. Any questions on 3-point coverage by anyone? Like I said, if you need to, you can unmute. We've got a small crowd on here. Not 100, but all right. So we're ready to take a look at some plays. So I'm going to drop it. If you're, for some reason, the video comes up choppy, head to this YouTube link that I just put in the chat, and you should be able to watch it. That screen. Yeah. We'll have 5 plays here where we just kind of cover both good spot mechanics and bad spot mechanics. All right. There we go. We'll go with play 1. So this first one, I think Toby's on the call, and I told him last night I was going to use him. Really good spot mechanics. We got the foul. We know what the foul is. We know how many shots we're going. We don't have audio, but I know he communicated who the shooter is. We get to the table. We stop. We do the whole resume all over again. Time in slow motion. Foul. Look at his patience, right? Waits, hits the arm, 2 shots, gives himself a second to make sure nothing, players are on the floor, nothing crazy's happening. Gets to the table. That hasn't even started reporting yet. Now he stops, properly gives the number, hit signal, 2 shots, and then properly places himself at half court. All right. Good job, Toby. Thanks for doing that. Made it very easy to clip and use for this. All right, this one is not proper spot mechanics. We don't stop the clock on a foul here. Proper call. We got the proper block, but we did stop the clock with a foul. And then we didn't show if we were having 2 shots or if we were going to do an inbound play until we started walking next to our partners. We walked to the table the whole time. We'll slow it down here. Got a block. Was on a pass, so we should have stopped the clock there. Then given a block on the spot. Before we start moving, so we're going to inbound it at the 3-foot mark, because this is now a tick mark inbound play. Then at this point, we should have started our jog to the table. Jog to the reporting area. And right about here would have been fine to stop and report the foul. Maybe even right there. That's where we probably should have started to stop. All right. Purple 5 block. Or a white 5 block, sorry, white 5 block, purple inbound. Then bringing in the subs. All right. So that was a case where we needed to stop the clock with our fists in the air. This one, we don't stop the clock again on a foul. Transition play. Right. So when I first watched this, I had a little bit of confusion. I thought he was going to call a travel. And then we end up finding out we're calling a foul here. So had that illegal screen there that was ruled. Wave off the shot, which should have started with a fist in the air. And then we should have given, this is a good one for a team, the team control foul. It's Brent, yeah, Brent, yeah. So that's a good one for a team control foul and then the illegal screen. All right. That's the point that we're going. That's going to be white ball. Yeah, white ball. Then we should signal where we're going to inbound it, right? Come back. All right, 2-person crowd. 2-person foul switching and spot mechanics. So first, the free throw, our trail official should be over here instead of free throw line extended. We need to be up a little bit more because you got to see these players. Trail officials, this is your responsibility right here. Lead official, right here. This is yours. When we do this, the trail official's got to put his hand in the air, stop the clock, walk down, and then start the clock. Well, we'll have another foul coming up here. Kind of out of screen, but our trail has a hold. Good spot mechanics. She indicates where we're going to inbound it, 28-foot mark, signals. And then the trail does a nice job of initiating the rotation. We're going to rotate on all fouls on 2-man mechanics there. And let that one breathe a little bit. We're going to go back here and watch that one. Right? It's probably right about here when the official signals, our lead official should know we're going to switch this foul, come up the 28-foot mark, and then when our trail gets down, or when our trail new lead gets down there, we're ready to go. So this was a proper switch in 2-person mechanics on that foul. Very nicely done by that crew.
It's me on there.
Yeah, no, that's good. That was good. I don't know if you and Deb pre-gamed it or, Deb's one of our veterans.
No, but I'm glad that you pointed out the free throw line thing because, well, it was just mentioned earlier. That was the first, I'm a second year guy. That's the first time I'd heard of that. So yes, I was in the wrong spot there.
No, and and here's what I'll say about that too, is sometimes you think you're in the right spot and then you don't know until you're on film, right? We get caught on a game, we get sped up, and then you think you're like, oh, I'm in a good position because I can see everyone, and then you don't realize it's leaking on film. So that's why we do it. So good job. Good rotation. You guys, I watched most of that game. You guys' spot mechanics were good. Reporting. And then this is a two-person plays here. Two-person foul. Needing to switch. There's a little bit of table conference involved, and there's spot mechanics. So on this one, we're going to pay attention to the trail official. We're going to run it back one more time. So first off, our trail official calls something out of his primary. In two-man mechanics, the lead has the lane. All right, that's when the foul occurred. Actually, we don't have sound, so I don't know when he blew the whistle. But the difference here is, look at our lead calls an all-ball foul, or all-ball with no foul, and our trail official had a foul. Probably want to get down here a little bit more too. That'll bring some credibility. This is another one of those plays that Steve talked about early on. If the trail does have a foul, we've got to close down. So if he called the foul and closed down, might bring a little bit more credibility to our call. Because I do think this is a foul. We get the call correct in terms of a foul. Instead, we kind of point to the player. We give the number there. So what we could have done better is hit foul, fist in the air, hit to the arm, and then two shots. All right. Same thing. We get a little too close to the table here. Kind of leaning over, right? We've got a lot of leaners here. So kind of lean over and giving the number. Stay straight up, shoulder width. And then we need to go opposite the table in two-man. All right. Second play of this little sequence here. Same official lead. Gets the fist in the air this time. Just need to add what the foul was, and if we're shooting free throws, we get really close to the table this time. Don't got to get this close. And then should go opposite table. Watch that one more time. We'll break it down. Transition play, properly calls a foul. Came down, foul, got that there. That's where we want to stop. Stop. So foul, hit to the arm, two shots. Okay, maybe even stick around a little bit here until our other official comes in, because 10 players right here, and our other official's kind of working his way down to the line. Here we get a little too close to the table. You want to be probably right in this area. I would go right with this where the G's at in this one. Clear the players. Did a nice job of clearing the players, going around the players. Report your foul with your numbers, hit signal, and then two free throws out to the side, right? Two free throws out to the side. Slow down a little bit, and then we're going opposite the table. One thing, those are all the plays we have. One thing I want to hit on, because Steve reminded me yesterday. So, our mechanics illustrated, we want to avoid what Steve calls the peace foul. He calls it the peace foul. I call it the phantom foul. It's when we are on the spot and we go foul, and then we do the peace symbol with it. All
Peace,
right?
love, and war. Yes.
Yes. So, nothing with two arms in the air, right? We want to go foul, signal, and then same hand, two shots. All right, foul, hit, two shots. We want to avoid this one. Okay. Same thing with out of bounds plays. Everything with one hand. All right. Whether you're here. All right. Don't want to be. It's cool to be ambidextrous, but this doesn't look as clean as this does, right? Once you get really good, you'll figure it out in terms of if I'm the lead and we're going that way, we're going to go blue. All right, the same hand, right? Hand that's towards the court, or if it stays with the offense, I'll do the hand that's closest to the offense, right? Any questions? That's kind of all we had today. Any comments, questions? Steve, anything you want to add in there for mechanics?
Yeah, let's make sure, especially with our new tick marks in the front court, that you got your full, after you signal your direction, then let your partners and everybody know what tick mark you want to use or where the spot throwing is supposed to be. We're forgetting that, and it's leading to errors and where we're putting the ball back into play. You're muted.
Any other questions? Anything else? Any other mechanics questions that we didn't cover today in terms of coverage? Craig, I see you're on. Anything you want to add as the GSOA clinician for mechanics?
As far as the mechanics go, I know we talked about shoulder length. Hold on for a second here. All right, here we go. I know we talked about shoulder length. Also, we don't want it too high. So this is the window, your eyes to about the bottom of your chest plate. That window right there. This is high enough. This is high enough. Like Austin said earlier, this is too low. This is too much. This is too high. I've seen some guys that are walking with their hands up like they're under arrest. Not that I've ever been arrested before. I saw it on TV. My point is, all of those things are important. And keep one thing in mind. Your mechanics is what your coaches, your players, and your fans are going to see first. Get in front of that mirror. Your mechanics are so important. And it's so important to do them right. Steve says it all the time. You got a book. Just open up your book and go through what the look is in the book and mimic the look. This will raise your level of officiating in people's minds by at least 50%. If you're out there down here doing this or up here, this is the guy's second year, first year, you got sharp mechanics. You can almost sell a call that wasn't that good. Not that I'm suggesting you should do that, but your mechanics is the first thing people will notice on the floor. So be sharp in your mechanics, if nothing else. And those are things you can work on without a basketball game taking place. Plays, you got to watch on film or be involved in. Mechanics, you can do almost anywhere, even if you don't have a mirror. That's all I wanted to add to that. Everything else I thought was great.
Good.
I thought that
Yeah,
was
and
great
like we
too.
said, yeah, this is the stuff that puts you up. If you're one of those up and comer officials, someone who's just getting in 3-man and you're looking for more 3-man assignments, you're someone who's been in 3-man and you're looking to get to that section game level, right? Or if you're a section guy who's trying to get to state level, the mechanics are the first thing they look at. Are you doing the mechanics right? Those are super important because if you can't look proper doing it, we can't put you in big games.
We've given you pretty much anything that we can think of for signals and mechanics. Another factor that you need to consider is matching what the actual play was with your mechanics. Too many times I see the defensive players up or they step into them like with their hands up and like that. And we come out and we've got to hold. Well, it's hard to hold when your hands are in the air. So think about the whole process. That gets back to that slowing down. Try to match the actual signal with what happened. And if you get close enough, that's where your voice takes over. You know, you can put your hands in the air and he said, walked into them and things like that. That just sells the rest of the call. So.
Austin, Steve, question I've heard different things on, the proper inbound location after an over and back call, and then shot clock resetting on such a play.
All right.
Okay.
Steve.
I'll take this one. The over and back, it also, first of all, it depends where the offensive team touched it. If they just stepped on the midcourt line, you're going to put the ball right at midcourt. Or, if they stepped on the midcourt line, that is part of the backcourt. Excuse me. That's part of the backcourt. We're going to move it into the front court at the 28-foot tick mark, and there's going to be 35 seconds on the clock because it's a change of possession. And if it's ball,
Even though it's now an inbound in the front court?
correct. It's a change of possession. That's the big key. Any change of possession anywhere on the court is a 35-second reset.
Thank you for that. But then the other part I heard is we're going to go to the 4 tick marks depending on where it was located.
Correct. Yep.
Thank you.
You are absolutely welcome. Great question, and it's been
I've heard different things. Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen different things. So
I have too, and so that's why December we're getting everybody on the same page. December is our month, and when I say our, that's the officials month. We're setting the parameters for everything, what we're allowing for contact, calling, all the stuff, rule book in play. And then hopefully by the time when we hit January or conference play, we're all on the same page and everybody's doing everything correctly. So I applaud all of you for coming on today to learn a little bit more. Every game we learn, every year we learn. I'm in year 47. I'm still learning stuff every day. So keep it up. Thank you for your efforts.
Steve, just this is Deb. Just to clarify, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So you said anytime there's a change of possession, does that include even if the ball goes out of bounds?
Yes.
So we use the tick marks where the ball went out of bounds, or sorry, we use the nearest tick mark or where the ball went out of bounds.
Where the ball went out of bounds.
Okay. But we don't necessarily use a tick mark.
No.
If there was a
no.
change of possession on a ball out of bounds.
Yeah, if it happens to be on one, so be it. But otherwise, in the backcourt, when the ball goes out of bounds and it stays with the offense, and all that stuff, we got to put the ball where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Great question.
Steve, I just want to clarify here, just because I was looking at the shot clock document. On a backcourt violation, when the defense now gets the ball and they're going to, backcourt violation, the defense is now going to inbound in their front court because they'll be the new offensive team. We're resetting to 35 on the shot clock.
Yep.
On the backcourt violation. Okay. So then the only thing I would say I can take this offline. There's a document that says we would reset that to 20.
It's on our first page of those documents. So
okay.
The 35 seconds.
Gotcha. I can send this to you. It's number 6 in one of these documents here.
Yep. Those documents are ever changing. So
yeah, I think it was a test question too.
Yeah.
Yep, they're ever changing.
So I know a lot of us have been resetting that to 20 because it's a front court inbound, but if it's off the turnover, we should be 35.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Austin and Steve, what's the rule if a offensive team after a made basket or a free throw attempts to throw it to the referee to try to set up their press? Is that a delay of game or some other type of warning?
I would on the first one I would do give them a warning. Let the ball go, especially if the other team's trying to inbound it right away. But then if they throw it away from you, that's the delay of game warning right then and there. So, but try to give them a warning. Well, I would give them the warning, make sure it's in the book, it's recorded, so then you're good to go on everything else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Any other questions? We can open it. It doesn't have to be about mechanics. Any other questions that'll benefit the group? Got a couple more minutes. Otherwise, we'll let everyone get back to their day. Awesome. Well, I'll make one more pitch. Due to a sickness, if you're a lower level official and you don't have games tonight and you would like to work at YZ for 2 games, shoot me a text or something. I still got that open right now. I do have a backup plan, but if you're someone who can work both games, let me know here in the next half hour. Otherwise, I'll have it filled.
4 o'clock game.
4 o'clock. Yep. First game's at 4 o'clock. So if you can make that, just let me know. I had a late illness this morning. So other than that, thanks everyone for tuning on. We'll send out a recording of this for later. Oh, that's right, Tony. Sorry. 3-man press situation. Does the lead stay involved? Yes. So lead, you don't have to be on the baseline. Come up wherever our back 2 players are. You know, I usually take a step behind them. That way I can see the clock. You never know if a coach is going to want to call a timeout on a press situation. You can see that. You know, a lot of it is dependent on where the players are at. Craig, do you want to add something to that?
Keep in mind, as you're getting ready to come up court from C, don't be in a hurry to go up court unless it's a long pass up court. If the ball stays back there, just stay. In fact, when a shot is taken, if it is a shot, step towards the basket. Pay attention to the second defender, not the defender who's on the ball, the second defender, and make sure you're a step or 2 behind where that person is. And then just remember, as a C, you're following the center of the crowd up the floor, unless there's 2 or more defenders in the backcourt. Sometimes we take off, or we'll see a shot and we start stepping away. We're bailing. We don't want you to bail. We want you to stay put. You see 2 defenders back there. You see a defender kind of slowly running towards the division line. Slowly go with him, because he'll turn around or she'll turn around and run back and create a press. We don't want the lead or the new trail trying to officiate 1 offensive player and 2 defensive players, or 2 offense, 2 defense, or 3-on-3. That help is needed badly right there. Keep that in mind at all times.
Yeah. Good one, Craig. And then know when you're the C, when to leave. If it's a 1-on-1 situation, get out of there and let the trail official officiate that 1-on-1 matchup. You know, they all start pressing and all of a sudden they all clear out and let it just be a 1-on-1 matchup. C, go down and officiate. Let the trail officiate the 1-on-1 matchup. All right, good stuff. I don't see any more questions, so we'll let everyone get back to their day. You got a game tonight. Good luck. Have fun. Thanks for everyone that you do. Have a good holiday break. Hopefully it's relaxing, and then we'll see you in the new year.
Hey, Steve.
Yep,
Steve Mikowski, it's Aaron Walton. Can you hang on a sec?
I can.
Because training take number 1 has Jason Nickleby saying specifically for that inbound in the front court, it's 20 seconds. Just want to give you a heads up on that. Because and I'll even quote it verbatim. He says, because the offensive team doesn't need that opportunity to pull the ball up court, it should be an inbound at 20 seconds. You're saying 35 for the change of possession, but in training tape number 1, it says 20. Just to give you a heads up.
Yeah, I've got the training possession, or the live ball possession. When there's a steal in that's a 35-second shot or clock reset, no matter where it is.
Yeah. You're saying, but the inbound, what we're discussing here is the inbound play. That should be 20.
Yes.
Nickleby, yeah. Oh, yep, I'm sorry, what now? Correct.
Got it. So backcourt violation, we're going to inbound at the 28-foot mark, and it should be a 20-second set for the team now getting the ball.
Correct. I was talking about a live ball change of possession.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'll add that clarification.
There's all these little tweaks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good to get it cleared up. So yeah, I was talking about a live ball change of possession anywhere on the court is a 35.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, good. I'll add that
Thank
clarification.
You. Yep.
In the
very good.
So, all right. Thanks everyone for stepping on. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.
Take care.